Welcome to the second ever Sports with Luke podcast. I'm your host, Luke, here with my best friend, Kyle Cousins. Say hello, Kyle.
Hello, Kyle.
So, Kyle, first, for everyone that's listening, all 500 million people that are listening, tell me about yourself. What do you do? Where do you live? Married? Have any kids? Have any pets?
In the exact opposite order, I have no pets. Okay, I totally lost the order already, but that's okay. We're going to roll with it. So, I am currently living in Rochester, actually, with a family from church, and that's been an awesome experience. And so, I live in Rochester, and I work in Stewartville, which is close to Rochester. I'm a mechanical designer, and I draw furniture and in 3D on the computer, so it's super cool and interesting. And I get to work with a lot of the salespeople and engineering group to get the stuff sent out all over the U.S. It's pretty interesting and fun, and I enjoy it.
Cool. So it sounds like that you ever have any contact with the clients?
I don't have contact with the clients. I work with the sales group where they actually contact the clients and then kind of relay the info.
What's like the best way? What's the best way you guys like get leads, get sales? Like,
it's weird actually the way it's structured. We have rep groups around the country, so we have people. So let's see here. So Samsung sells TVs and phones and stuff. So you're not going to buy that from a Samsung store. You're going to buy that from Best Buy or like Target or whatever. So we've got people out there kind of promoting our product, and we have displays showing some of our products off in different big cities around the U.S. So if someone needs their furniture updated at their office buildings, they will go into some of these showrooms and they can basically pick out our furniture, and then we'll work with them more in depth to get the exact designs they want.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now I kind of want to talk about how we became friends, and I want you to kind of say your side of the story, and then I'll maybe throw in of like my view of things of how it all happened. For those that don't know, we are best friends. So how did we become friends, Kyle?
Let's see here. It was a long time ago. But really, it feels like yesterday. Right. It was at youth group.
Let's go back. What was like the first ever memory of seeing me?
I thought you were so cool. You were like straight up sports.
Oh man.
It was youth group, and I'm pretty sure and stuff outside like normal people do. And you were with the cool kids because you were one of the cool kids back in high school.
Oh man!
But yeah.
People have told me before.
One of the initial things.
People have said that before, that I was one of the cool kids in high school, and I look back and I'm like, oh god, no way, no, I was not a cool kid. But when you
hung out with all of them,
I thought I did, but I mean, we'll see how good of friends I am with everyone else. But anyway, so get back to that was back in, because I remember seeing you. Because when did you move to Owatonna? Was it like 5th or 6th grade?
6th grade.
Because I want to say it was like 6th grade youth group. I remember seeing you because you were hanging out with Aaron Louie all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So then, but we weren't really friends because I was probably too cool to hang out with you because you were interesting.
Yeah, still am. Well, it was initially youth group, and then Lucas is kind of how we became closer friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to remember the timeline. I feel like before that, we kind of slowly got to know each other because we were in choir, and we sang.
Oh God! Forgot about this story.
We sang in the tenor section, but of course our voices are a little bit higher at the time, so we had to sing the second alto part. But we couldn't just sing it. I don't even remember it all. I just remember like it was just us, and we had the same part, and we were singing with the second altos.
Well, and Mr. Harris, I remember he asked me kind of like, and like not like out loud, but like kind of I was like, do you want to like go in and sit with them? Like, and you can say no if you don't want to. I was kind of like, no, I think we should go in and sit there. I remember he just gave me the very stern. I'm not gonna do it. Like, that's very mature of you. Like he said, mature, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I getting myself into? And then of course, yeah. So we go in. Actually, we sat in the alto section, and sang the parts. And then now it's kind of funny. Well, at least I know when I sang. Well, you eventually turned into you were a bass. And I
was like a first or second bass.
And I definitely cannot sing that high. I mean, I can't with falsetto or whatever, but now I can get pretty low. I don't know if I ever told you this story. So, we had our little, once a week, once every other week, we'd have like a morning, this is a concert choir. We have like a morning go in and sing whatever. One time we went in, this was senior year, and I purposely never met with him. I had a one-on-one sing, whatever, because when my voice finally changed, I wasn't good. Like I turned into not good. That's why you always put me next to Zach Engel too, because Zach has overpowered me.
So loud.
He asked me because I started singing and wasn't very good, and he's like, "You not feeling well, or just not can't sing good?" I'm like, both. And that was literally the last I've ever. Have you ever asked me to sing up? I laugh at that because I was. When my voice changed, I finally wasn't a good singer.
Yeah. Mine was kind of the same way. Like, I had a weird in-between stage where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, so there was a year where I actually didn't sing choir because I was in a week between, like, my voice is changing and I hate the way my voice sounds right now. And then he heard me talk. He was like, hey, come to my office, and did like a vocal check. It was like at the end of end of my junior year.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, you want to be in concert choir? I was like, sure.
No, I remember it was Alex Johnson. She name dropped you in choir. She's like, you guys, any more dudes that can sing? And she was like, get Kyle Cousins, get him to sing.
No, I remember it was for the musical because I was like helping with tech department stuff, and I was upstairs and I was yelling down to Harris like, "Hey, you should like or the guys sound good, but you should do this and whatnot." And he's like, "Who is that, Kyle? Come see me," because like my voice was way lower than the last time you heard me.
But no, I remember. Yeah, because Devin was Lucas. We had a foreign exchange student junior year, which you knew before he came and lived with us. So
yeah, because he lived with the Allards.
Yeah. So I remember you came over. I felt like that you not like forced, but you were like really persistent. Yeah, we should hang out. The four of us, as in you, me, Lucas, and Aaron. I'm like, and I know we've talked about this before. Like, I thought like I was too cool. Like, I'm like, I can't out with this kid. He's a little weird, a little hyper.
You're still way too cool.
That's not the case at all. And I'm like, oh, fine, whatever. And you came over, and I'm sure we just played Guitar Hero or played video games. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then, so we're kind of left off or started, and then we just hung out a lot more. And this summer, all of senior year, and then, but the most memorable summer of my life was the summer. The summer, it was after senior year of high school, and right before I went to school in South Dakota. Many, many times we went to the church Bethel Youth Room with all the big speakers, and we brought our Xboxes and had a Guitar Hero on the projector and like on the loudspeakers, and we freaking jammed. My parents came and jammed. That was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool too.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Like, oh, we're gonna go play Guitar Hero.
Yeah, I feel like we played a lot of Guitar Hero, and then we went to the pool a lot.
And then made some PVC pipe Nerf blow dart.
Oh guns. Yeah, I'm sure we went.
I'm sure
we went frisbee golfing a lot too. I
think we did.
I haven't gone frisbee golfing in a long time.
Yeah, me either. I think I went last week.
All right, so now we're gonna get into other things other than friends talk. I know you are a big Apple fan, technology, as you are using your AirPods on your iPhone. You recently pre-ordered the iPhone 10. I keep wanting to call it the X, but I know it's the 10. Tell me about how that went.
Okay, so it was super stressful. I had my MacBook up, my iPad out, and my phone out. My phone was on cellular, and then I had my Mac and my iPad on Wi-Fi signal, and I just had all three up, refreshing every page, just like I felt like I was juggling, and I was just swipe, refresh, going through at 2 a.m. on Thursday, because that's when you could actually pre-order, and so then it finally came up on my iPad, and I was super excited. I was like, oh, this is real. This is happening. And I'm just like, okay, I got this. And then I had already pre-approved, went through all the checks and stuff, and I get to this point where it has all the stuff filled out. It says November 3rd, you can receive your iPhone, free shipping. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm actually going to get it on the launch date. So excited. Then accessories for it. So I clicked to the accessories like extra page, and everything just goes blank. And I was terrified. I was like, wait, did I finish processing my phone order? And it was like 50 minutes of trying to call Apple tech support, trying to log in and buy the phone again, but it wouldn't let me. And then I finally refreshed my email a few times, and it said, congratulations, your iPhone will be shipped on November 3rd. And I'm like, oh, I jumped up and down. I was super excited.
Did you get much sleep?
It was a roller coaster.
Did you get much sleep before or after?
No, I was watching Stranger Things to keep me up and excited.
So, okay, on to the Apple stuff. I wanted to ask your opinion on, have you, and I know I haven't had the opportunity to have hands-on, have you seen or checked out any of the Google Pixel, anything? Whether it's a phone or the actual, like, the MacBook? Or not the Chromebook, whatever the hell it's called, Pixelbook?
I haven't heard anything about the Pixel or the Chromebook, but I've seen quite a few videos about the Pixel. I haven't seen it hands-on yet. I haven't read up too much, so I don't have a whole lot I can say about it. Nothing negative, nothing positive, really. But all the reviews and things that I've seen so far says it's a pretty capable device and looks like a solid competitor for the iPhone.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, whenever I see, maybe it's because I work a lot with Google at work, but like you know, I kind of want to like try that out. Like, I think it would be cool to like have for like, I want to do it for like 2 weeks, and then like, okay, I'll go back to
yeah.
And also because I feel like now I'm so into the Apple ecosystem that like it wouldn't make any sense to actually like get one or get something. I did watch a video on the Chrome, or I think it's called the Pixelbook is what it is. Unbox Therapy just came out with one, I think it was today. Actually, nice. It looks pretty cool, but you kind of made a point where like it's really like if you're just gonna look on like email and kind of do like just internet browsing and like not do any like hard work on it, like yeah, it's good. And it's like really like it's really gonna turn into either like have like a supercomputer or like, you know, the actual Mac desktops, and then you can like actually like edit stuff and upload and do a lot of like heavy lifting, or it's gonna be like all like phone or iPad kind of stuff. Like I think, I mean, now I think about it, laptops, it's I don't think they're gonna be going away, but I just think there'll be a big shift from.
It's already been a big shift,
yeah.
And that's one of my main reasons to justify the fact that, like, oh yeah, the iPhone 10 is an expensive phone. Like, people get kind of hung up on that, but I'm just like, what's the one thing you carry in your pocket and you use daily? Like I don't know, it's hard not to justify. It's just like, oh, I would like a reliable device that I can enjoy and use.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, next topic is music. Once again, you are a big fan of music. What have you been listening to lately?
I have a lot of dubstep.
Like who?
Excision dubstep. A lot of trance. I'm always listening to trance. Armin van Buuren, Andrew Rayel. Yeah. Not much for rock stuff recently. I don't think much for anything that's come out recently. August Burns Red's new album isn't bad. I enjoy the new We Came as Romans album. So actually, yeah, there's quite a few, but good stuff all around.
Yeah, I just had a hankering to listen to the Currents album. That's one of my favorites. I think it's legit one of the albums of the year for me. One of the top ones.
Which one?
The place the place I feel safest. That one.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Someone else just had a new album come out, or it was like, it wasn't an album, it was an EP with, I think, sounds that inspired their own music.
Color Morale. They did covers of like songs that inspired them, so like actual songs that the Color Morale covered. So I thought that was pretty cool. I listened to it. I mean, there's one heavy song, the other ones weren't. I'm like, Fix You by Coldplay was one of the ones that I actually recognized, which was kind of interesting. That's one of their inspirations for the music that they make. But yeah, I know.
But that was the Color Morale.
The Color Morale, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw like the EP was released on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's okay. Listen to it once, and I'm like, okay, I've listened to it enough, kind of thing. Yeah, I actually like Moths to Flames. I decided to I pre-ordered their vinyl, so I'm gonna get that. That comes out on Friday. I know Phineas has one's coming out pretty soon, and I know I've told you about Polaris.
Yeah.
They have
a new album coming out?
Yeah, coming up. I think it's this Friday, like a week from.
Full album.
Yeah, a full album. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I have that pre-ordered. Also,
that's exciting.
In 2 weeks, Taylor Swift's album comes out.
Oh, I'm so excited! Especially now that she's streaming on Spotify, right? So I can actually listen to it instead of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I illegally downloaded her album when it came out, when she said it wasn't going to be on. I'm like, okay, well, I just want to have it just for whatever. And I mean, I liked her last album, and her few songs I've listened to, I'm like, okay, that's actually not bad. I like them a lot. Mm-hmm. What's your, if you can narrow it down to one or just a few, the best concert you've ever been to?
Boy. That's really hard because I've been to a lot of concerts already in my life. I think Zomboy, that was up in Minneapolis at Skyway. But I think most recently I really enjoyed finally being able to check We Came as Romans off my list because they put on a really good show with The Word Alive, which is also really good. Seen them several times. And I Prevail. And yeah, that was a really good show.
I think my favorite one, I mean, it's one of those because it was my first one and I can remember, was that Word Alive show. The Fearless Friends up in Station 4 in St. Paul. And the Word Alive were up. And that was my first time ever seeing him live. And Telly jumped out in the crowd, and I, being the tall, goofy bastard I am, stuck my hand up, and he held onto my hand like to help like balance himself because he was like on other people, and I was literally like cloud nine. I'm like, oh my gosh, best day of my life. Like I was freaking out. I remember calling Andy because I was in school. Like I called Andy like, Andy, I just held Telly's hand, and he's like, I don't care. I'm like, well, thanks. But yeah, I think that was probably one of the best experiences at a concert that I've ever had.
I totally forgot. Yeah, that's actually a really good one because wasn't Grant with us too? And I just remember that whole experience, like driving up to the cities. I'm pretty sure we got lost in some weird sketchy,
like a back alley or something. Yep.
Yeah, it was like a back alley. It was really creepy. And then we finally got parked and made it to the show. I think we missed Chunk No Captain Chunk, and that was when they were first coming out, I think. Yep. Or was it?
We missed Chunk. We saw we saw like the half end of theirs.
Yeah, that was good. That was kind of when they were first getting on the scene.
And then it was Motionless in White, The Word Alive, Blessed to Fall. And that's crazy now because Motionless in White, out of all those bands, they're the biggest. Like they are like hands down, not even close. Tonight Alive is up there because they're more pop than anything, but because they like tour with like
Mhm.
Slipknot and stuff like that, and when you do that, it gets you pretty big.
Yeah.
So Halloween is tomorrow.
No, it's not.
We're recording this on Sunday, but we're gonna put this out on Monday. So Halloween is tomorrow.
Oh, we should
what,
rehearse that.
what was your most memorable Halloween costume that you wore?
I mean, like, I don't know. I've never done the whole trick-or-treating. I dressed up when I was little, but I'm really excited this year. I'm going to be dressing up as Harry Potter and going out with Jaden. Should be a lot of fun.
I think my favorite one was the not Lion King, Power Ranger, the red one. Had the suit and had a big mask. That just was my favorite one because it had the mask. But then I gave it to my brother, and he had to get it taken away. Like when I grew out of it, he had to get it taken away because he was kicking and punching people too much.
Yeah, I had a problem with that too, watching Power Rangers. I'm pretty sure I punched a hole in my parents' door. Actually, I know I did. That's not a pretty sure. I did.
Oh, man. All right. Well, this is going to wrap things up for a bit. First, Kyle, I need you to tell me a joke.
What do a duck and a motorcycle have in common?
I have no idea.
They both have handlebars, except the duck.
I've heard that before. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Not bad jokes.
I got one. Hopefully I can remember it all too. So a guy walks into a bar and there's a pirate sitting there. He has a hook for a hand, a peg leg, and an eye patch. He walks up to the pirate and says, "Hey, like, how did you get your? Why do you have the hook? Why'd you lose your hand?" He's like, "Arr, I was out in the sea and I got bit by a shark and clean off. So I put the hook on to whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Then he goes, "Oh, how do you have a peg leg? How did you lose a foot?" "Oh, I was on looking for buried treasure and I was on land and a croc came up and bit it, took it, so I put a peg leg there." I'm like, okay. Well, why do you have your why do you have a eye patch on? Like, "Oh, I looked up one day and a bird shit in my eye." He's like, "A bird shit in your eye?" "It was the first day with my hook."
Oh, that's a good one.
I definitely got that one from a Reddit thread the other day, but I thought that was a good one to end on. So, Kyle, thank you for joining this week. Hopefully we can have you again soon.
Yeah, because I feel like there's way more to talk about.
Definitely.
I feel like we just kept going. So
Definitely.